Hi, this is Skoggit, and this is something new to my channel, and I want to get your feedback on it from all my viewers and subscribers out there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a story time with Skoggit. And what this pertains to is this events what's happened in my life when I was a little kid, growing up, all the way up until now. And I want to share them with you. And some is funny, some is sad, some is just totally hilarious. And I want your feedback on this, and to let me know if you like this or not. If you do, I'll keep doing the stories. If not, then I'll cease from doing them. But this is the first story, and this is what I call the volume 1 or first story, and it's called Bad Date on Brother's Car. And I'm going to go ahead and pop myself a Lone Star, and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and tell the story. Got to have a Lone Star whenever you're telling a story, because down here in Tornado Alley, Texas, if you don't have one, no one's going to believe you. So, anyway, this was back in about 1978. My brother, which has since passed away, went down to the car lot and bought himself a 1965 Buick Wildcat Convertible. And I didn't know nothing about this. I was at work at the time, and I was inside the house. I remember I was inside the house, and all of a sudden I heard a lot of honking outside, and I thought, what the heck is going on? And even my mother, she says, man, go out there and see what's going on. Is there something crazy or what? So I went out there, and there's my brother, and he's sitting with the top down on this Buick Wildcat 1965 convertible. And he's like got his shoulder up there, and he says, hey bro, he said, come on over here. He says, check this out. And it was like a kind of a light teal color. I guess it's teal, maybe a blue. One of those is it's a cool color of car. And he says, check out what I just bought. So I went out there and looked at it, and it looked nice. It was a nice looking car. I mean, I walked around and everything. He was sitting there, and he was all proud and everything. So I walked around it, and he said, what do you think, bro? And I said, well, it looks good. He said, how about going out on a date tonight? He said, I know these. He said, I've got know these two girls, and one of them likes you, so she'll go out with you. And she likes me, so she'll go out with me. And let's go to the drive-in theater. I said, okay. That sounds like a winner if you can hook it up. He said, I'll hook it up. Don't worry about it. And he said, do you like my car? And I said, I like your car. It looks good. Looks good. And he said, man, I've always wanted a convertible, because, he's never had one. And the thing about it is he's always talked about a convertible, and how much he would love to have one, and he finally got one. And I was all happy for him. I said, this is real nice. You have a nice car, a nice ride. And he says, yeah. He says, girls gonna like it. And I said, okay. So he called him up and went inside. I remember using the rotary phone. Called him up, and the black one at that, and asked them if they wanted to go out on a date with us, and they said, sure, we'll go out. So we swing by, and I remember getting in the car and sitting there, and it had the two bucket seats in front, then I had like a bench seat in back, and said, yeah, let's go pick them up. So we swung by their house, picked them up, went on to the drive-in movies. We got their drive-in movies, and of course we got out, and before the movie started, and we got some popcorn, and we got some hot dogs, and you name it. We got some soda pop. We were set. We were doing good. And anyway, we was watching these movies, and if I can recall the movies, I believe they were two Bruce Lee kung fu movies. One was Enter the Dragon, and the other one was Return of the Dragon. And we watched the first one, which was, I believe it was Return of the Dragon. And everything was fine and all. We was having ourselves a good time. And then all of a sudden, it started like the wind kicking up a little bit, like it does down here in Tornado Alley, Texas. Wasn't really thinking of anything about it. Then all of a sudden, I felt like kind of sprinkles of rain hit me. So I'm like, well, looked up, and oh, it's cloudy. It's like cloudy and everything. And it's like fixing to pour down. It kind of looked that way. Even at night, you can tell because looking at the clouds looked pretty mean. So anyway, we're sitting there, and sure enough, it come like a cloud burst, and I tell you what, that rain poured. I told my brother, I said, hey bro, I said, go ahead and put the top up. He said, no problem. He hit that button, and the top come up. It came up, latched down. The only thing is there was no top to it. It was just the rails. Just the rails. And I told him, I said, hey, I said, we don't have the top. Where's the top? He said, well, when I bought the car, he said it had the top down and it wasn't raining. So anyway, we're sitting there and I'm getting wet. The dates are getting wet. They're getting all mad. So they finally got up, left, and they said, hey, we're going to go call our parents, come and get us, or somebody come and get us. We're going to snack bar, and I don't care what y'all do, and da-da-da. And I told my brother, I said, see, this is totally screwed up. And he said, well, I agree with you. Then he says, you want to see the second feature? And I said, are you out of your mind? I want to go home. So we decided to go ahead and leave the drive-in theater. And whenever we went to leave, he turned on the headlights, but there was no headlights. And I told him, he said, we got a problem, we ain't got no headlights. So I told him, I said, did you not check the headlights when you bought the vehicle? He said, it was daylight, didn't need to check them. There you go. So anyway, I said, well, can you drive in it? At least the wipers should work. He turned the wipers on, the wipers didn't work. I told him, I said, so the wipers not working? And he said, nope. I said, why didn't you check them before you bought the car? He said it wasn't raining. There we go. You gotta kind of know my brother, because he kind of like buys stuff on instinct. Like he sees something sitting there and it's like, yeah, that's what I want. And this was the car. It looked fine. It was a beautiful car, but nothing worked on it. That's the thing about it. So anyway, I told him, I said, well, I've got a shoelace on my shoe, and I said, I got one on the other. I said, we can probably get home if we tie one end of the shoelace to the wiper on your side and one side to mine. At least we can pull it where it's doing this. And I said, we can get home. he said, well, that sounds good. So he started it up, and we took off, and it was pouring down rain. I mean, it come a rainstorm like Tornado Alley, Texas gets like all the time. And it's just pouring down rain, like sheets of rain and wind and everything else. So we're driving along, and I'm like pulling this, and he's pulling the other side, and the wiper's going like this. And we drove, I guess, from the drive-in movie to my house was approximately 5 miles. We drove 5 miles without any headlights, with no top on the car, with no wipers, and we made it home. And we pulled up in I remember us pulling up in the drive, and he just kind of looked at me after he turned the car off, kind of looked at me, here, we're soaking wet. We are soaking wet. He kind of looked at me and he said, well, he says, kind of smiled and said, well, what do you think about my new car? I didn't say a word. I got out, slammed the door, and went inside the house. And that's the end of the story right there. And he ended up getting rid of that car. And I can't remember exactly what kind of car he got after that. But it was going to cost him too much to put all that, like the top on and get all that fixed. So he kept it. I think in fact, I think he kept it a year and drove around. He only drove it like when it wasn't raining and it was only sunny. But he kept it, I think, about a year. Then he got rid of it. Can't remember what kind of car he's got after that. But it's just a fun story, just a pleasant memory for me because I remember I was there, and hope you enjoy this little series what I'm putting together. If not, then leave a comment. If you don't like it, then leave a comment, and I'll discontinue it. And if I get enough people that likes it on my channel, then I'll keep on doing them. I'll keep on doing the stories and everything. This is Skoggit. Appreciate all you viewers and subscribers out there. Be sure and let me know what you think about this new series what I come up with. And y'all take care.